I think there's ore in there. Sweet. I love this game. Yeah, this game is so awesome. So the IKEA guy, please share. You guys heard the IKEA story, right? You guys haven't heard the IKEA? Okay. Well, if you guys haven't heard the IKEA guy story about if only I was younger, that's the title of the story. I used to work at IKEA over in Utah, in Draper, Utah. I used to work at the IKEA, and I used to work in the bedroom department. And there's this guy that worked there at the time, and he wasn't like, he didn't work in my department, but he was kind of like one of the people that like helped like put the sets and stuff together, and like, I don't know really, he was like the builder kind of, but he didn't put the furniture together. He put like the scenes and like I don't know, he was like the maintenance guy that like did all that kind of stuff. Anyways, so I met him when I was working there, and he was really nice and friendly. Oh god, yeah, story time. Okay, hold on. Let's pause this. Let's pause this and go into here. And turn off the Skyrim hissing, because that's very... Okay, so this story time real quick. I did work at IKEA. I did. I worked at, IKEA. I worked in the bedroom department, and, I know what you guys thinking. Wow, bedroom department. So wow, good job. Okay, so I got a lot of weirdos. Okay, in the bedroom department. Just saying that. But the bedroom department basically consists of bedroom furniture. So you would sell like the bedroom frames, or the bed frames, and the nightstands, and dressers, and mattresses, and that kind of thing. We didn't do textiles, like any like sheets or anything. Like we had them on our beds, but that wasn't really our department. But anyways, so I used to work there. And the maintenance guy, I don't actually remember his name. I have a terrible memory. We'll just call him Bob. Was his name Sven? His name was not Sven. And he was kind of older. He's an older gentleman, probably in his mid-50s or so. But yeah, he was a nice guy. He would like do maintenance and stuff like that. He would always kind of be in our department. He would be like climbing ladders and stuff, and fixing light bulbs, and fixing things kind of around. And I would be in there, and I wouldn't have like, when my days aren't super busy, I would help him. I would like, he'd be like, oh, can you like hand me like my tools or something, or if you're not busy, could you help me put this ladder in, or put this light bulb in? Like, so I would hand him like the giant light bulbs and stuff while he was up on the tall ladder and stuff like that. So anyways, he was like, oh man, you're always like, he's up on the ladder right now, and I'm holding his ladder, or holding the ladder, not his ladder. Maybe it's his ladder, I don't know. But anyway, I was holding his ladder, and he was up there like working and stuff. We've been talking for a while now, like just acquaintances and stuff, and he's always like smiled at me, and he's like, wow, you're always so bright and so happy. And he was like, and you're always such a joy to talk to you, and everything like that. And then I was like, oh, thank you, you're so nice, and you're really awesome to you. And anyways, so he was up there like putting this like light bulb in, and he was like looking down at me, and he was like, if I was like 20 years younger, I wish I could meet you, or like I wish I could be. I have a terrible memory. I don't know exactly what he said, but he's like, if only I was younger. And he would kind of like, that's what he did. Okay, so he was like, he was looking at me, and he was talking to me about like his relationship. Okay, this is like the super awkward. Okay, he was married, he had kids, and he was talking to me like, and I was just like this little guppy like nerdy IKEA girl, right? So I was just like, I was being friendly and being nice to everybody, but he was like talking to me like intimately about like his family and stuff, and like how they were having like struggles and stuff like that. And then he was like, yeah, if only I was younger. And he was like sitting there, and he'd smile at me. He's like, yeah, if only I was younger. And it was just like, it was so awkward, because like he would say that like more than once. And like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like when the guy was like, he's like sitting there fantasizing like, oh man, if I was younger, I would totally, and I'm just like, oh, gee, thanks. That's really nice of you. But it was super awkward for me because I didn't know what to say. And like, I was just like, okay, well, I always thought of you like of a fatherly figure. Like in my head, I'm like, wow, he's like old enough to be my dad. He's just always been like, I'm always, I'm a very, like, I like to help people. So I was like a helpful person. And I'm just like, it was so awkward. He was like, oh man. Okay. So anyways, that happened. So he would like say like, yeah, if I was younger, I would love to have like, I would love to meet a girl like you or meet you or something. Oh, that's what he said. He was like, if I was 20 years younger, I wish I would have met you and married you or something. It was like super like personal and just like completely out of the blue. And I didn't know what to say to that. I was just like, oh, okay, thank you. That's so creepy. Oh my God. Oh, it was really awkward. So anyways, that happened. Once that happened though, he started like talking to me about his son. Like, I guess it dawned on him that he couldn't have me. Maybe his son could. Oh God. Geeks Life, thank you so much for your host. Thank you. So this is when it gets like super weird, okay? Like weirder. So then he was like, Cord McLeod, thank you so much for your host too. Thank you, Cord McLeod. Okay, so then he was like, okay, well, I have this son, okay? And he works at this place and he's about your age. And he's never, he never really met the right girl. He hasn't really met a lot of girls yet, like the right girl. And I'm like, oh my God, where is this going? I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. I could relate, it's hard to find people. Oh God. So he was like, I really, really want to introduce you guys. Like, can I have your number so I can give it to him? And I'm just like, I don't remember if I gave him my number. I said no. I think I said no. I'm like, oh no, I don't know. That might be a little weird. And he was like, yeah, I guess that would be weird. So anyways, skip forward a few days. The next time I go to work, guess who's there? It's him in my department. Okay, it's the if only I was younger guy. Okay, the creepy mechanical guy. I mean, okay, it doesn't sound that creepy, but if you were there and you were like a vulnerable girl, okay, I'm like all alone in this department with this guy who I thought was a fatherly figure, and then he started actually like, there's like, when he just like, he would stare at you for a little bit too long. He would like look at you for a little bit too long. You just knew that there was stuff. The wheels in his head were thinking. It was just creepy. But anyways, he was there in my department again with his whole family. His whole family. He brought his whole family there to meet me. Okay. It was his wife, apparently, that they were having problems with, but he seemed very nice to her. Okay. It was his wife. His son was there. Okay. To meet me. His son. Okay. Like the freaking like relatives were there. Like there was a lot of people there. And like, I'm like walking to work down the hall. Okay. I'm like walking down the hall to go to the bedroom department. And all of a sudden, like I turn the corner and I see this line of people and him in the middle. And he's just like, come here. She's finally here. And I'm like, hi. I'm in my IKEA outfit. Okay. I'm representing IKEA. I'm an IKEA employee right now. So I turn on my IKEA friendliness and I'm like, hi, I'm Elena. It's nice to meet you. 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 I'm greeting everybody down the line. I'm like, well, it's great to meet everybody. It's so great to see your whole family. Like, yeah, your father's really nice. And as I'm going down the line, I met the guy. Okay, the kid. I'm sorry, I accidentally hit my microphone. And he seemed like a really nice guy. He really did. But it wasn't like I wasn't attracted to him. He was a very like nice looking guy and everything. It was just like the whole thing was like completely weird and just totally turned off any sort of anything. So yeah, good job, Dad, Kappa. But anyways, so hey there, Mac. I'm sorry, we're talking about the IKEA story right now. So yeah, I met the son. He was my age. So I met everybody and I was like, oh, it's so nice to meet everybody. If you guys need any help at all, please let me know. I'll be around this area. I work in this department. If you guys need any help, like finding anything, I was totally like, right. Like I'm representing IKEA. I'm very proud in, places that I work. So I definitely want to be like the best employee possible. So anyways, I was like, okay, I'll be like right over there if you guys need me. So then I'm like, working on my stuff that I do when I first get in. So I'm like putting my stuff away in my little box. Like we have like a little information nook kind of thing where you put your like stuff in while you go to work. So they can see me. And then I start like walking around, like fixing beds and making beds and like greeting other customers. And I can see out of the corner of my eye that they're all still there and they're all watching me and they're all talking in a circle watching me. It was so awkward, you guys. It was so awkward. I was just like, oh my God, I know they're all watching me right now. They're all talking about me. They're all wondering what our babies are going to look like and where we're going to live. And I mean, they had their whole future planned out. And like the guy, I mean, it's like awkward enough. It was just like, oh man, the sun was there and the sun was like absolutely like glowing. Like when he met me, he was just like, oh, hi. Dad did so good. And I was just like, oh, so cringe. Oh man. So anyways, still it's going on blind dates again. No. We were talking about the IKEA story because a lot of people didn't know the IKEA story. So yeah, that was basically what happened with IKEA. They were all very sweet and very nice. It was just like, it was so terrifying. It was so weird. When was the snow? That's weird. It was a few years ago. So I was probably in my earlier 20s. I'm 26 now. So it was probably when I was like 22, 23-ish. So a few years ago. No, it was because their whole family was there. It was like the scariest thing because it was like a freaking family reunion. And he brought his whole family to meet me. Like he thought that we were going to like, I don't know. It was super creepy. So anyways, that was that story. But I have other creepy stories about IKEA. There was this one time when, like this, I think he was Filipino. He was like a Filipino guy. And he was talking to me about being a minimalist. So he was like, yeah, I'm trying to have only like a certain amount of things in my life. So like, I don't have a bedstand and I don't have a bed frame and I only have a mattress on the floor. I only have like 2 pairs of socks and I'm being very minimalist. Like I only have a certain amount of objects in my life. I don't know. It was super weird. I'm like, oh, that's cool, pretty cool and fascinating. And then it started getting weird because like I was complimenting him on his weirdness and I was like, oh, that's really neat that you do that and stuff. Like, well, here at IKEA, you know, and I'm trying to like, you know, try to break that a little bit. I'm like, I don't know. I think you desperately need a bed frame in that minimalist life. Like it would be super weird. So anyways, I'm sitting there being nice to him because I'm trying to get a sale. And he's sitting there thinking, I guess, that I'm coming on to him. Because then he started asking me, he was like, so what's your sign? He asked me about like my sign. He asked me about like if I'm going to get married, if I had a boyfriend and stuff. And he was like complimenting me. Like it was just like, oh, you just meet so many weird people. And then another weird thing that happened was, so that was one guy. Okay. And it doesn't sound that creepy, but it was very creepy. If you were there, it was very freaking creepy. He was just like, he would like lean in a little bit more and he's like, so what's your sign? And I'm just like, oh. It's like, I take off my ring and I put it on my wedding finger. I've actually done that a few times too. I have a ring that I wear all the time. I got it when I was 16 for like a 16 like present. My mom got me real jewelry, so it's only like $100 little ring, only $100. But yeah, I've had it forever. And it's like real, and it has tiny little diamonds in it, and I like treasure it always. So I always have it on my hand. And when I went to work at IKEA, I would flip it and put the ring on my engagement fingers, so like people would stop hitting on me. It's so bad. But like at IKEA, like I mean at Utah, like there's a lot of young people at Utah that that just want to get married and start a family. And yeah, it's just like when they see like a nice person, like they latch on. So like me in my IKEA mode, it was just like, it was easy pickings for them. But yeah, another creepy time was when like a really old man, he was shopping by himself. Wichu, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, Wichu. It was like an older gentleman, and he wanted me to lay down in the bed with him. Like he was testing mattresses, and he was like, hey, can you come lay down here so I can see like what it like, if it feels good with another person like laying down next to them. And I'm like, totally. So I was like, yeah, I'll totally lay down with you so you can kind of test it out that way. So I'm like laying down in the bed, and he's like laying down in it too, and he's like, He's like, this is nice. And he was like scooting closer to me. And this is like an old man. And I'm like scooting farther away because I thought like he was like trying to get like comfortable, you know? So I'm like, okay, he needs more room. But he just like kind of kept scooting. And then I got out of the bed. I'm like, all right, well, how did you like it? And stuff. And he was just like, it was just super creepy because he was like, he just like, I don't know. It was just, there's so many creepy things that happen. Like, you have no idea. It's just like, I have so much respect for the people. No? Okay, well, I was trying to make the sale. I was trying to be a good employee. I was trying to help him out. Oh my god. But yeah, those are some of my IKEA stories. Sorry, that was like totally random and totally like in the middle of our Skyrim stream, but yeah, anyways, that was our kind of thing there. So anyways, I have a lot of weird things. Oh, do you guys want to know another story? Okay, since we're talking about stories here. All right, one more story. It's story time. Personal dignity. Sales. It's so true. So stories from customer service. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have all this cat hair in my mouth right now. Okay, actually I have two more stories. Another customer service story. I work, my first job, I worked at a candle shop. Mechlix, thank you so much for your follow. Thank you. We'll get back into Skyrim, I promise, but we're talking about stories right now. I started, I'm sorry. Yeah, you did start this story. I was working at IKEA or no, not IKEA. It was a store in the mall. It was called, well, I don't know if I should give, I'll give you the name. It's called Illuminations. Okay. I used to work at Illuminations. It was a candle shop. And it was my first job. I was a little bit over 16 years old, and we sold basically a bunch of candles. It was like a dim lit store. It was very like low lit, very Tuscany, very like iron, kind of like wrought iron metal designed fixtures and like warm lighting and candles everywhere and a bunch of scented candles and stuff. And that was kind of the store where it would sell like decor and stuff. So I don't know if you've ever been in there. It's a completely different than any other candle store. So anyways, it was a really fun place to work because it was always like dim lighting. It was very relaxing and fun. And I was working, and we are supposed to basically greet people whenever they come into the store. You greet them and ask them if they need any help finding anything. So this gentleman came into the store, and he was probably like, he was older than me. I was only like 17 years old, and this guy came in, and he was probably around 30. And I'm like, hi there, do you need any help finding anything? And he was like, I need a candle that gets my girlfriend in the mood. And I'm like, what? And he was like, I need a candle that like turns her on. Like, this is like what he's telling me. I'm just a little kid, right? Like, I'm just like, oh, I'm only 17 or whatever. But like, he was like, I need a candle that like gets her in the mood. And he was like, serious? He wasn't like, gets her in the mood, you know, something like this. He was just like super serious. He's like, I need a candle that gets her in the mood. And it was like, how about cranberries? I was just like, that gets me in the mood. Cranberries. But yeah, so that was another weird time. He was just like, it was so weird. Just like, is that weird? That is weird. Okay, when like an older guy comes into a store and it's like telling you, it's just like, I need a candle that, like, he actually didn't say gets her in a mood. He said something like worse, but I don't know if I should say it like on stream. But he said something like, it was just, yeah. Sweet innocence. No, it was, oh my god, noted. No, okay, cranberry, well, I love cranberry juice. I have cranberry juice, but like scented, like I was like, I don't know what like gets girls in the mood. Like, what is she into? Like, I don't know. And not into, but what kind of smells does she like? I don't know. But yeah, he definitely said something a little bit more vulgar. No, he said what, like, it was more of like a panty dropper kind of thing. Like, oh, I need a candle that gets her in a mood and like drops her panties or something. I don't know. It was super, super, super awkward. I'm like, stranger danger. So yeah, I was like, cranberries, they're down there, and just left. I don't know if cranberries did it, but it was something to say. Okay, so the last creepy guy story that I have for you guys. I did use sexiest candles. I'm like, well, we don't actually have a sex candles. I'm sorry, I don't really know. Okay, so that was okay. The next story. Okay, this story is one of the creepiest stories. They've all been very creepy. Okay, like the guy that was saying like if only I was younger. Okay, that story was really creepy. That like scared me. You know, like I was frightened, but I felt safe because I was in like IKEA. The other thing that happened was at a Walgreens. Stranger danger, I know. Hey there, Moon Cross, how are you doing? It's because you're so sexy. Oh my. Primitive. Oh wait, Primitive, what happened? I had clearly stoned dude get handsy with me in front of his girlfriend and kid. I'm a dude. Whoa, really, Primitive? That's pretty creepy. I never want to hear Snow say Pity Dropper ever again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This is so gross. Oh no. You're doing good? Oh, good to hear. Good old story time. Yeah, good story time. Okay, so the next really scary story was in Walgreens, and I was with my little sister. You guys met her. But this was a while ago. So this was when we were a bit younger. I was probably early 20s again. It was about the same time I worked at IKEA. And I went into Walgreens and I was looking for, it's not pronounced jojoba. It's called like jojoba oil. Jojoba oil. I don't know how it's pronounced, but I call it jojoba oil. But it has a J, so I think the J is like an H or something. But anyways, it's called jojoba oil. You know, I read about it because I wanted to use it with my makeup. Like I heard that like for dry skin and stuff, because I have like a bit of rosacea, so my skin gets a bit dry like on my face. So I was gonna mix it up. Actually, it wasn't my makeup, it was with my moisturizer. So I was gonna put it like a few drops of jojoba oil in my moisturizer and then put it on my face. So I go into Walgreens, and my little sister was with me, and this Asian gentleman, he's like older. Okay, he's older. Oh god. This is a really awkward story. That's what she said on your list of things you have. Oh my god, Seiko. Mr. White, it's like hearing a Disney cast member saying that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. You guys have to stop saying it. This is why women think guys are creepy, because there's a ton of us are. Yeah, it's true. Jojoba oil. Yeah, that's it, G. Yeah, jojoba oil is like a natural jojoba oil. It's pronounced a jojoba oil? Okay, it's like a natural like oil that's actually like not supposed to clog your pores and everything. So anyways, I walk into Walgreens and there's only one guy working there, and it's this like older Asian guy, and he's like behind the counter and he's working. And I go up to him and I'm like, excuse me, sir, do you guys sell jojoba oil? I'm looking to find some. Actually, I didn't tell him the reason why I wanted it. I just wanted jojoba oil. He goes, oh, yes, I do have it. So he like got out behind the register and like was going to an aisle to show us. And then he's like looking through the aisle and he's like, you know what? I guess we don't sell any jojoba oil. And he was like, but you know, jojoba oil is very good for massages and stuff. And so I actually have jojoba oil like at my house. Like I mix oils all the time and I do massages. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Like, yeah, I'm looking for it too, but I wanted to put some jojoba oil in my moisturizer. He's like, oh, okay. And he's like, well, come back over here to the cash register. So we like follow him back to the cash register. Actually, that's where our conversation happened. He brought us back to the cash register. So he's at the cash register and he's talking to me about like his massaging and stuff like that, and like how he does massages. And I was just like, okay, that's great. Like, where do I buy jojoba oil? That's like what I'm thinking, right? And he was like, if you give me your phone number, I can call you and tell you when I have jojoba oil. I can bring some to you from the store for free. And the whole time he's telling me this, he's at the cashier, okay? This is gonna be super awkward because I'm in my costume, but this is like the cashier, right? This is like, if you can think of the Elder Gleam as the cashier. So this is like where he does his transactions and stuff. This is how he was standing, okay? He was standing in the captain's pose like this. This is how he was standing, Okay? He was standing like this, exposing his crotch, and he was like this. He was like, yeah, I could bring you some oil next time. Just give me your number. And he's like this older Asian man. Like, I thought they're like he was gonna be like, you know, normally when I see older Asian people, I don't know if this is like racist or whatnot, but they're normally very, very, very respectful and kind. And this guy, I don't even know. I was like shocked. And he's like, and I have my little sister with me. Okay, I have my little sister, and I'm sitting here trying to buy jojoba oil, and he's holding up his foot like this, and he's going like this. I can bring you some oil. I can do it. I can just give me your number, and I will call you next time it's in. I can do it. I'm just like, what is going on? Like, I'm like, I was stranger danger. So I actually ended up giving him a different number and a different name and like leaving the store because I didn't know what to do because I'm just a little girl and I'm trying to protect my sister from a creepy guy. And my sister, I was like, wow, that's really freaking weird. That was really, I'm like, yeah. By the way, my name is Janelle and my phone number is this. And I'm just like completely, did I give him the right? And yeah, so I never went back to that Walgreens ever again. I was traumatized. Like, that was so traumatizing. Great story. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was like super scary. Asian American males, not so much. I guess so. And then like I went home and I told my mom, like, well, like my mom was like, well, yeah, that's my mom I think actually laughed and she was like, yeah, you won't go there anymore and stuff. But I don't know. That post, that's what it was. He did it. He like, oh my God. And it was like, he was wearing like his slacks. Like he was wearing slacks. So it was all tight in the area. And it was like, it was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. And we were the only people in the store. He was the only employee. He was the manager, by the way. He was the manager. He made sure that we knew that he was the manager. He was like some hotshot manager of Walgreens gonna bring me some oil. And I was like, oh, no, that's not how I was like. I was like bolting into the next country. Like I was so scared. But anyways, that was some creepy guy stories for you. If I remember any more, I'll tell you. But that's pretty much wow. I'm sorry. Apparently I just wanted to talk today. I was just talking for like 20 minutes. I'm so sorry. Janelle. Oh man. My face hurts from laughing. Oh my God, it was so creepy. Once the oil had been mentioned still, I knew where it was going. Yeah, it was awful. What did you tell our sister afterwards? Well, my sister was there the whole time. We were both sitting there like, oh my God, that's the scariest thing that's ever happened. Alpha. To be honest, Alpha, we weren't looking in the area, so I didn't see anything except it was just like, I was looking at his eyes and I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah, that's super scary. Exactly, Owndizzle. It was like him thinking that he could seduce us. Or me. I don't know if maybe he thought that Heather was, or my little sister was my daughter. Maybe he thought I was older than I was. Another story? I gotta think of more stories to tell you guys. I gotta think of more. Thanks for the great story. You're welcome. You're so welcome. More stories, please. I gotta think of, hello. I gotta think of more stories to tell you. Now all of us guys understand why girls are so freaked out at them when we simply say hi. I mean, some guys are not scary, but some guys are. Strikey. And some random person got a call from CVS, Walgreens, but close, about the availability of oil. Yeah, some random poor person in probably another state got like some creepy guy calling him. Just me. Like, hi, is this Janelle? So you totally captured him. When he delivered the oil, you could keep him captive in a cellar. Oh my God. Oh my god. No, thank you. I didn't want to be anywhere near that person. I was so creeped out. Should be a weekly future snow story time. Okay, well, all this happened when I used to not like stream all the time. And like now that I stream all the time, I don't go outside very much. So I don't have a lot of stories about people.